Well, hello, this is your host, Eric. And we're back here with the Gimle battles. Today, we are going to pitch two of the losers bracket against each other, which will be quite interesting, since both of these, and the Sentinel and the UCS Sanctuary, are in the losers bracket as said, and that means that the one that is going to be eliminated, thus losing this, will not be seen anymore in this little tournament. So let it just load up here so you can see it a little bit more clearly. This is the Sanctuary. If you missed the Sanctuary from before, it's basically, sorry to cut to the chase a bit too quickly here, but let me see. Let me find the interiors. This thing happens to be a worship chamber. And there it is. It happens to be a worship chamber for reptilians. And it's of course about pyramids. Fortunately, the would-be reptilian overlords seemed to not be too strong, so it ended up in the losers bracket. Good for us. But this is built by Omicron, and it has 77,000 blocks. We have an armor cost of 39%, which is decently high, and it has a mixed bag of munitions: particle cannons, lasers, cram, and mostly APS. And if I recall correctly, it has some pretty scary sandblasters going on there. Now, it is the armor is further back into the design, and it is sitting like this in the air. It will be facing the Sentinel by Karakok. The Sentinel, you've seen it many times. You've seen the Sanctuary as well many times, but this thing looks absolutely amazing. It is a sand blaster and frag railgun spammer. That's how it does its damage, and it looks absolutely amazing, really spaceship like. Elite Dangerous maybe, Star Wars maybe, you don't really know, but it looks really cool. It, however, is very strong, yes, but it does suffer some issues due to the guns being pretty easy to take out. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see this. It is a best of 3 battle, so it will all be decided in best of 3 rounds, basically. Now they were spawned a little bit high, both of them, so they are trying to find their optimal altitude. Ooh, there we got a pack blast. That must have hurt, man. Oh, look at that. It looks like both are shedding a lot of blocks, but honestly, both of them seem to be pretty fine so far. 98% here. The Sanctuary sits pretty low into the water. It can even dip into the water a little bit. It is jumping up and down like that. Looks like the Sentinel is flanking Sanctuary a little bit. Oh no, it's actually not. The Sanctuary usually does fight at an angle, which mayhaps be a little bit surprising, but that is what it does. And here we can see the Sentinel is at 98%. I'm really thinking that the Sanctuary's mixed bag of weapons will come in pretty handy here, but I don't really know if that's gonna be important enough. The Sentinel, she is in the lead here, but the UCS Sanctuary, she is also able to kind of sit in water it's not really game over even if it gets kinda into the water due to the propeller, relying on propellers. Laser systems are blazing. Ooh, those frags are really lagging some here. And it jumps up and down like this. And these sands are missing. Sanctuary is behind in health here. It is behind a good bit. Look at that. Look at that. The Sentinel is a pure frontsider. It faces you and just fires continuously at high speed. Those firing pieces, firing those sandblasts really have to be damaged for it to, well, be able to be taken out easily. It deals a lot of damage, but you can see it's pretty interesting to see the Sanctuary's very quickly moving concept, bobbing up and down like that, makes a lot of the Sentinel's shells actually miss. And the Sentinel seems to have a bit of an engine problem here, so dependent on where the damage is being aimed, it does suffer a risk of its guns being permanently damaged. It's a little too easy to damage these guns, as said in the previous video where the Sentinel was fighting. And there we can see that the Sanctuary is at 90%, and the Sentinel is at 91. Honestly, I think that the Sanctuary is in the lead here due to its ability to kind of sit into the water a little bit without dying. If the Sentinel gets into the water, it will fast become quite the issue, because it is indeed mostly made out of jet engines, so if this thing sits into the water, it will just sink. We've seen that in previous battles. Both guns seem to be quite active still though. And the Sanctuary is really looking very sad. I think the Sanctuary should really switch to facing the other side towards the enemy, because it is quite damaged here. Look at those frags just flying all over the place. It's like it's... Sometimes frags at this amount seem to be causing quite some lag, to be honest. And a lot of those sandblasting shells... Oh, those crams are not too far off actually. If they had been laser detonated, that could have been possibly quite a scary modification. Exploding from above, but within the area of the Sentinel. That could be crazy. Alright, and we are really losing health here. 84%. It's looking quite battered. It's looking quite battered. Are any of these guns even taken out? The Sanctuary's guns seem to be quite resilient indeed, man. Ooh. One of the guns of the Sentinel is taken out. And now some of the crams are starting to hit as well. I think the Sentinel has some real issues here. I don't think it will be able to survive this. Look at that. Look at that. Sanctuary is at 79% though. I really think that the Sanctuary is still gonna win this battle, but we'll see. We'll see. It looks so sad. Well, those reptilians better pray, because the Sentinel is back for revenge. Sentinel is at 79%. It's starting to tilt dangerously here. I don't think it's gonna be able to redeem this angle, man. Little intersection. Don't forget to like the video if you are enjoying it, and check out GMODISM.com to find all the support options and all our content and all that stuff. In any case, let's continue with the video to see this little battle. It is basically slowly falling into the water. Jet engine after jet engine is being popped out here. 74%. The Sanctuary has actually taken the lead in terms of health. And that says a lot. I think the battle is not far away to reach its decisive numbers. Or decisive setups. Look at that interior here. Like all of those jet engines causing the lift. They're being quite grinded. %64. Oh, bam. There we lost one of the engines, and funnily enough, destabilized the ship due to removing some of that weight. What a surprise. What a surprise. I did not expect that. 56, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, and it's not blazing anymore. The Sentinel is unable to deal any damage, so it is just a matter of a few more seconds until it reaches despawn territory, even though the results could be argued is already basically decided. There we go. First round goes to the UCS Sanctuary. Congratulations, it's best of 3 though, so it doesn't mean you are safe this round, this battle either. This round you won, but the battle is actually up to the following battles, if that wasn't apparent. It's double elimination, best of 3 this tournament. And for the next round, we're just checking the stats here. We have 1,300 firepower with basically, well, all of them are into those 2 guns, frag and kinetic. Just if you wanted to know that in a little bit more detail. Well, anyways, let's get the next round going. We're spawning them on a little bit different altitude for this battle. It's gonna be quite interesting to see if the results are same, similar, or completely different. I do want to say big thanks for everyone who are supporting the channel monthly. At the time of recording this, we have Chancellor Super Dave in the government of GMODISM, our commissioned officers, most notably thus Admiral Dragon X62, Commander Ben Wilkin Delphine, Lieutenants Ali, Anto, Cravey, Flowers Dagon, Daniel Saikin, Owen, Power by Greed, Vincent Veritas, Rick Brell, and Scuba Rocks. Also big thanks to all our cadets and those in the Ecclesiarchy, that is the YouTube members who can see this video in early access, among others. In any case, the beginning of this battle has gone about as the previous battle. Even though the Sanctuary took home the first win, it doesn't really mean a lot, because we both know, like we all know, that both of these ships are quite good contestants. They are quite good fighters, Ending up in the losers bracket in the Gimle tournament of course already means that you have won against the Gimle. Your ship is thus stronger than the Gimle in a best of 3 battle. So one could say if you think the Gimle is decent, it makes all the ships participating in this not only decent but good. The UCS Sanctuary is at 97%, yes, but both of the guns are still firing, so it seems to be basically undamaged so far. Them sandblasts, man. It's just a lot of shells here. It's interesting that they are a tiny bit too slow. And the Sanctuary decides to dip into the water momentarily here and there. We're really getting the sides ground down here. Ground down. I wonder... These are decoys, yeah? You know, I'm a bit curious. I think these are decoys. Yes, that is a heat decoy. It's just a bit fun that the decoys are spinning like this. I don't think that may improve its survivability that much, but what do I know? Maybe it does, because they are alive still. That's the Pyramid TV broadcasting antennas, for those who were wondering. 93 versus 93. This battle is so even, we can barely sit still in our seats. .5 versus 91.5. Are you absolutely shitting me? This is so even, man. Look at that. These tiny lambs are trying to zap the shells when they are moving. They're missing. Interesting indeed. We can actually pause a little bit here if you want to see the loadout. We have heavy head, solid warhead, and a fin. Pretty classic sandblaster setup. Alright. Sentinel is down to 84%. Oh no! It's not firing its guns. Ladies and gentlemen, we already basically have a winner. The Sanctuary by Omicron is going to be the one that is continuing here. The Sentinel, it's looking very awesome. It really looks so cool. I absolutely love this design in terms of its aesthetic qualities, but the Gimle battles is mostly about performance. Looking good is just for style, and the Sentinel is just plainly a weaker design than the Sanctuary. Or very, very unlucky. That's possible too. Well, the Sentinel will be eliminated from the tournament for all eternity. Unless Karakok sends in an upgraded and fixed and completely new and fresh version of the Sentinel in a future challenge, of course. But for this tournament, the Sentinel will never be seeing the light ever again. It is defeated. It has died 2 times. It has been double eliminated, as they say. So it's game over for the Sentinel, and big congratulations to the Sanctuary. Omicron's Sanctuary is certainly looking pretty shredded, but it is fighting pretty well still. It doesn't suffer too much of a problem, indeed not. And now it is even despawning down there. And if you were wondering what this is, well, we have AP frag in some of these larger guns. We really have a mixed bag of damage, and that's something that I definitely agree on. Doing a all-trick pony is rarely good. If you have to do an all-trick pony in terms of warships, it better be a laser all-trick pony. But if you're doing anything else, you better have a multi-trick pony like the Sanctuary. Having multiple types of damage can really increase your chances at countering your enemy. Well, that's just my opinion. We're gonna run the third battle just for fun. Not that it really matters for the results, but so that no one, by looking at the time bar below, can be sure which team is gonna be the winner. We're gonna spawn them at a pretty low altitude for this round, just for fun. Third battle is spawned in, and our contestants are already blasting each other like they have nothing to lose, because they really don't. Neither of them. And it's going pretty even in the beginning too. I feel this battle was at times pretty even, so I didn't see it fit to spawn two of these sentinels, because I do believe two sentinels will be able to defeat the Sanctuary, no real issues at all. Using stone spam armor here like we are using for the Sanctuary, it's a lot of metal inside too, but exterior it's very much stone. That's best to strip off with a lot of tiny frags, just like the Sentinel has. So it's actually a pretty well matchup in terms of being able to defeat Sanctuary. It's just that the Sentinel's guns are too weak. They are just so much weak spots that they were the reason this battle went the way it did, basically. Well, according to me at least, I don't know, but it's my best guess. By the way, you should definitely check out our Discord community. If you aren't in a good From the Depths Discord community, we have a pretty fun and friendly one where you can also get information on the challenges and stuff we have. Other than that, you should totally check out the GMODISM and the Relaxism YouTube channels as well, because I have more content on there, especially on the GMODISM channel. You can find a link to it on the end screen. You'll find a lot more From the Depths content, which you may enjoy if you are watching this little, tournament series. In this battle too, the Sanctuary seems to be in the lead, which is interesting to see. That kind of cements the results we already have obtained of who is to be the most reasonable winner here. Well, I do think we can just slow down time here to maximum slowness, just to observe what types of damage we have coming in here. Oh yeah, those frag shells that we are shooting, they are area detonating, so even though they may be missing, they may still do some damage, which can be the difference of winning and losing. Not dealing optimal damage, it is not always the worst thing ever. Missing your target completely, that is some really bad times. 94 versus 94. We seem to be having the Sanctuary seem to have lost its strong upper edge. Well, perhaps we should follow. Now we accidentally locked onto the wrong things here. Whoops, I'm lost. There we are. Now we can follow this tiny traced little frag shell in its travel towards the poor sanctuary's side, which is absolutely getting very shredded as we speak. Well, I think we can speed up time, huh? Some of them are pure kinetic and some of them are frag. Look at that. 94 versus 93 percentages. This last little matchup, this last little battle, seemed to be getting some quicker results than the ones previously, possibly. Oh, and the reason why it does fight at an angle is of course so that the rear guns are able to do anything. Pretty reasonable, if you ask me. This sanctuary is still in the lead. It looks like we're slowly going to get the same results as we basically got last time. I do think we have drawn out to the timer below so that we can at least clearly see the likelihood of which ship is going to win pretty decently, but the results are already decided, of course, because the UCS Sanctuary already won 2 battles. So, since it really looks a lot like the battles have been so far, I think we may end this little video right here and right now, since, well, I feel we've been seeing this sandblasting going on for quite some time now. But we do definitely want to take a last little glory look here at the Sentinel. It looks absolutely amazing. This is one of the best lookers in the entire Gimle tournament, according to me. If you have another big favorite, please write it into the comments and, you know, like the video and leave some comments. That is really helpful for the channel's engagement and thus future success and making other people's finding this from depth game as well as these from depth videos. So please help out the Empire of GMODISM with that. As an imperial citizen, this is indeed your duty. As the Sentinel is being shredded to pieces in the background, you will watch my very Syrian smile of a paper cutout. You have the links in front of you of the GMODist and the Relaxism channel too, as well as the GMODism channel if you are not subscribed already. Then you should totally subscribe so that you can catch the future videos and battles that will be coming up. Well, in any case, I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, as again, do leave a like. Big thanks to all our supporters who are really helping this channel be a thing. With that said, this is your host Eric, and we are signing out from this little battle. Well fought, Karakok, beautiful Sentinel design. Unfortunately, we'll not see it again. And congratulations to Omicron Mark 1.